Hello, and welcome back to my channel. I am at work. I'm always at work. I am a CNA, and I work nights. Again, here a video is going to be coming. But I have been focusing lately on breastfeeding and the bad parts of breastfeeding, as well as issues that come with that. So I wanted to get on and shine a little light that you can breastfeed if your baby has tongue tie. So I wanted to get on and talk a little bit about different positions you can use to feed successfully and those oral issues that you can feed with. So, first, welcome back to my channel. Successfully breastfeeding a lip-tied or a tongue-tied baby can come with its issues. Like I've said in the previous video, you can have soreness and can have engorgement or metastasis, but you can still feed without having those issues. So sometimes a lip and a tongue-tied infant can get a good latch, but for the most part it's kind of shallow. So I spoke on breastfeeding issues in my last video, but I'll briefly go over that here. So lip tie here is a picture for it right there. But lip tie is when the lip up here, that little space right there, is kind of short, so the lips can't flange out like that. There's restricted movement, and that comes with sore nipples, shallow latch, and like I said, the lips won't extend or flange out. The other issue is tongue tie. Post a picture here. So tongue tie is that tissue in there, that connective tissue that's tightened, and with that also comes the sore nipples and a shallow latch, and not being able to open your mouth wide enough, the baby's mouth wide enough to get a good latch. So there's many reasons for a baby to have lip tie or a tongue tie, but I'm not going over those reasons in this video. I'm just going over different suggestions for breastfeeding. So with that being said, a lot of people would think it would be easier just to supplement with formula, but you can have short and long-term health risks for you and baby, not to mention that the tongue tie could give baby difficulties with holding onto a bottle, latching onto a bottle. Though breastfeeding can be a challenge when you have pain and you have a baby with lip tie or tongue tie and sore nipples. Breastfeeding can be a challenge when you have pain and the sore nipples and bleeding and cracking, but I have a few tips to assist with that. So one way you can make breastfeeding easier for a lip tie or tongue tie baby is you can soften your nipples or your breast. I did say soften your nipples. I meant soften your breast. So, when you have a softer breast, it makes it so that the baby can latch on a little easier, and it's not so hard in their mouth and they can't get a good latch. So, to soften your breast, if you press either the C or the U shape, just apply some firm pressure and then release, and then firm pressure and then release, or firm pressure and then release. That will make your breast a little softer, make that tissue around your nipple just a little softer so baby can latch on a little easier. Oh, while I'm speaking on tongue tie, if your baby has a tongue tie but breastfeeds without an issue, a frenotomy, or the cutting of the frenulum, cutting of that tissue down there, isn't really necessary as long as your baby is getting calories gaining weight, taking in food successfully, that's not necessary. Oh, since I've said that, I am in no way, shape, form, fashion a doctor. As I've said before, I am a CNA. I have breastfed all of my children, so I have the experience of a breastfeeding mom. I have also done research for my breastfeeding, and I have been looking into becoming a lactation specialist. But back to my video. So, that applying of pressure is called reverse pressure. I'm going to see if I can find a picture of reverse pressure and post that there. But I have a couple of other tips that helps with having a tongue-tied child and trying to breastfeed, a tongue-tied infant and trying to breastfeed. So there's something called biological nurturing, and that is pretty much backlaying. But it's similar to backlaying. I did a video on different positions for breastfeeding. I'll post that video along with a few others below, as well as my previous breastfeeding tip videos. But this helps with gravity. So with that gravity of the baby leaning forward while you are laying on your back, helps the baby's tongue like push out a little bit more and help them be able to latch on. That's probably a good position to breastfeed them in, and then this latch will give you minimal pain, but also have the baby have full benefits from feeding. But yeah, that helps minimal pain for you and helps baby get the full benefit of feeding because of that deeper latch. Oh, I'm not sure if I said it before, but picture here of biological nurturing. So the next tip is nipple tilting. Picture there. So with nipple tilting, you will kind of lift the nipple away from the baby's mouth, giving your baby more breast. So your finger or your thumb will go into the baby's mouth as well as like pretty much your breast, your boob, and not your nipple. This will help the nipple and areola kind of fall into the baby's mouth. And of course, you remove your fingers or thumb from the baby's mouth, giving it a better latch. If those 3 tips that I gave, the nipple tilting, the biological nurturing, and the softening of the breast, if that does not help, then hand expressing is the best way to go, and feeding from that way with these methods. But you can hand express or you can pump with a hand pump, not an electric pump, but a hand pump. And then you can feed your baby by either spoon, cup, syringe, or SVS. And I talked about those in a previous video that I did, but I'll post that video below. So if you're going to want to find out about those, you can watch my little video below. It's quicker and it's easier to understand. There's pictures and everything like that. And since I spoke on the tongue tie, I want to mention that usually if your child has a lip tie, that does not impact them or bring difficulty with breastfeeding. You will or possibly have sore nipples, but a lot of new moms end up having that when they're starting to feed, but it does more so come with tongue tie and lip tie. But I said that to say it does not impact breastfeeding too much or have many complications later in life, although some believe that tooth decay can hit when they are toddlers. But when it comes to the tooth decay, I haven't seen any in my research, but my video was on breastfeeding. So just to touch base on everything, lip tie doesn't impact breastfeeding or give complications later in life. If your baby has tongue tie, they don't have to have well, if they have tongue tie and they are feeding properly, they're able to latch on correctly, and they are taking in food and they are gaining weight, they do not necessarily need to have the tongue clipped. And this is for if you are having or noticing that you are having pain while breastfeeding due to your baby having a shallow latch, like pictured here, or if your baby is having slow weight gain. These are issues that I am speaking for in this video with the tips that I have given and the little background. I know this isn't as long as my previous videos, but this helps too. So please like, subscribe, and hit that bell for more videos like this. Thanks for watching.